The origin story of AXAD is actually, it was out of necessity. My company, AXAD Durable Medical Equipment Companies, got tied up in Operation Brace Yourself, where 26 companies kind of got tied up in a conspiracy to defraud the United States and anti-kickback statutes. And so overnight, my company was just vanished. So I started AXAD Capital. We killed it. I was able to sell, in 2023.
Do you ever feel like you were unstoppable when that was going on, or what was going on through your mind, and that shift from like being up here to like boom?
Yeah, I would say, I felt pretty unstoppable. The business were going great. It was just printing money, and it really wasn't until April 2019, everything just came out of nowhere, and it was tough.
Now that you exited the company, you're still involved. What's your day-to-day like?
Really, I'm just helping a lot of people out. Just point people in the right direction and make some introductions and just try to help people out.
Is anyone trying to get in the industry, man? They're brand new industry. What's your advice to them?
Just keep pushing forward. Just always be persistent. You're going to get tons of no's, but just keep on moving forward, and you're eventually, it's a numbers game.
I love saying this as a numbers game because it's so fucking true. Yo, we're Legion World. First podcast here with my man, president, founder, AXAD Capital, John Krawczyk. You're a legend in the space, been doing this shit for a long time. Been wanting to have you on the show for a while, man.
Yeah.
We finally got to make it happen.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, good stuff, man. How's the show been for you so far?
The show's been excellent. Tons of energy, new people.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It is good stuff. The thing with this show I noticed is that it's smaller. It's not like an ASW. It's not like a LeadsCon, but it's good. It's nice and intimate is what it comes down to, right?
Right. Yeah.
And you need more quality over quantity, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, ASW I feel is like just the Wild West.
It is. There's a lot of weeding out you got to do. The issue is that you got to talk to, like, for every 20 people you talk to, maybe one or two actually got the goods. Here, you talk to 20 people, I feel like
yeah, 20 deals.
Yeah, like at least half of them or whatever. So AXAD, man, tell us about the whole issue. You got a good, and first of all, the name is awesome, right? And when I think of AXAD Capital, I think of that show Billions on Showtime. That influenced you, right? So let's talk about the whole thing.
Yeah, no, the origin story of AXAD is actually, it was out of necessity. My company, AXAD Durable Medical Equipment Companies. DMEs, and got tied up in Operation Brace Yourself, where 26 companies kind of got tied up in some...
what year was this, by the way?
This was 2018.
Okay.
A lot of people got tied up in a conspiracy to defraud the United States and anti-kickback statutes. And so overnight, my company was just vanished. There's nothing to do. So I started AXAD Capital and started building out a network, building out, at the time, was U65. We were doing a lot of U65 traffic. That kind of turned into doing a ton of auto insurance. Auto insurance was great for a while. And just kept on riding the waves, just kept on going with the trends and just following what was hot. And
yeah.
We killed it, I was able to sell, in
congrats, man.
2023. So I've been, assisting in that transition for the past, year and a half. It's been nice to just, kind of sit back on the sidelines and just kind of watch the industry and see, like what's worth getting into next.
Yeah.
And still helping out at AXAD, doing a ton of great stuff over there. Really focusing on legal, and now that we have a final expense agency, doing tons of final expense, that went really well. Especially with kind of Medicare was, just not a big hit this year, right?
Yeah.
It was tough for a lot of people.
It was tough for a lot. But those few guys I know that killed it, man. And for us, we virtually did nothing with it. 2 years ago, we did pretty good with it. So there's a lot to unpack there. And congrats on the exit, man. That's a huge accomplishment. I mean, only I think less than 1% of companies actually get to exit their companies. So I mean, congratulations on that. Well, I want to go back a little bit because you mentioned the whole stuff with DME, right? And yeah. I think that's very interesting because obviously you caught it was a wave, right? It was freaking going up and up and up. And did you ever feel like you were unstoppable when that was going on, or what was going on through your mind, and that shift from like being up here to like boom, real quickly?
Yeah, I would say, I think a lot of the marketers knew they were dancing in kind of a gray area. Some lawyers would say, everything is compliant. Other lawyers that were more conservative, like, I want to do that. And, going from I would say, I felt pretty unstoppable. The business were going great. was just printing money, and it really wasn't until this was April 2019. Everything just hit the ground, and literally,
What did you know that was coming, or it just came out of nowhere, like
yeah,
overnight?
yeah, it just came out of nowhere, and
Uh,
it was coordinated. So all like 26 companies went down at the same time,
wow.
and it was tough. It was a dark place for a while, but you just persevere, you keep on pushing, and keep moving forward. And my thing was, I wanted to show the government I had pending sentencing and everything, and it took a while because of COVID. And luckily, I was able to build AXAD Capital to the point, like, okay, if I do go to prison, I have a team that is able to, make sure my family gets paid, and my expenses are paid. And definitely couldn't have done any of this without the team that I had. The team was just amazing. They were everything. So having that support was, it was great.
Yeah.
It was good.
That's awesome, man. Did you feel like that gave you more urgency while like you're pending being sentenced, going to prison, to like every day, every second counted,
day
right?
Pushes
Yeah.
so hard.
Yeah.
Took a toll on my body. Like the stress levels were unreal.
Well, you took a toll on your body. How exactly?
First with my stomach, I had some like intestinal issues that I almost had to get my colon cut out.
Wow.
And I started doing BPC 157,
Yeah.
which is a peptide
Yeah.
I want to.
It's like a wonder
maybe you
drug.
can
Yeah.
offer for a peptide for that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the intestinal issue where they were going to cut that out. What was the other one? I had Bell's palsy.
Oh shit. I think I heard about it.
Half my face was paralyzed.
Wow.
And they think from stress, but you just got to keep on moving forward.
There was a new endeavor called Roofs in the Box. It's just, man, from day one, it's taken off.
When I first started getting into the roofing industry, what was happening was my fixed costs were always there. And so for me, I was looking at how can we kind of, one, save on these costs, and then two, how do I not lay people off during down times? But also maybe even the ability to pocket more money during the slow season or even the peak season. Since we've done this before, like with our lead gen companies where we have virtual staffing and from Argentina or Colombia, I'm like, why don't we do the same thing in the construction business? Now, once we figured it out, so we reduced their fixed cost by 70%. And so now during the downtime, they have real seasoned veteran type of players, but during the uptime, they pocket 70% of their operational costs are now going back in their pocket. And then when it's time to scale, they have the back end prepared, already ready to go to help them like lift off. Depending on what state you're in, you're averaging about 12.5% on what you pay out on taxes, insurance, all the different insurances that you have to pay out, right? So yeah, you don't have to pay out unemployment, you don't have to pay out FICA insurance, Medicare, Social Security, the things that business owners have to eat.
Roofs in the Box is not just limited to roofing or home improvement companies.
You can use it for any services, right? You can use it for IT. We use them internally for data sales, for hygiene, for analytics. It doesn't even matter what the vertical is.
It's like business in the box at the end of the day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So that's crazy. I love that's the DNA of a true entrepreneur, right? No matter what the fuck gets in your way, you're gonna figure it out, right? And that's what the inspirational story, man. That's what it comes down to.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So let's fast forward, right? You get through that, you build AXAD Capital. Well, what's you kind of mentioned it before. I mean, now that you exited the company, you're still involved, but not you. What's your like day to day like? I would imagine maybe more high level thing, like high level deals. Like what's life after exiting?
Really, I'm just helping a lot of people out. Like people come to me all the time. Like, I just point people in the right direction and make some introductions, and just try to help people out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as far as like the company, right? I know when I first met you, I don't know when I met you. I met you many years ago. I don't think you guys were doing legal at the time, or were you?
No, we started doing legal probably in the last 2 years.
Okay.
Heavy in MBA.
Yeah.
And torts are great, but it's just the budgets come and go.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing is like, can we get something consistent? If we have a consistency, it'll be great to play.
Yeah.
Mesothelioma has been halfway decent, just getting a pipeline of those. If you can get one close a week, those pay out pretty significantly. So
Yeah.
it's a tough one though.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Why the shift to legal? Like what made you decide to get into that? Because I think when I first met you, guys were doing the insurance, still our ACA. final expense, that kind of stuff.
At the time, Camp Lejeune was just
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
we crushed it. Yeah, and then just started learning about the other torps that people were working on, and made some relationships, like MTMP,
Yeah.
and just started, pumping out deals.
How was that show for you? I saw you guys there. You had it was AXAD Legal was the name of that,
Next
correct?
lawsuit.
Oh, Axe Lawsuit. Okay.
Yeah. It was a great show.
Yeah.
Great show. Tons of lawyers.
It's a different animal, right? It's not like one of these shows, man. I mean, it's hard to penetrate that show, man. Yeah, you gotta come to that one in a blazer for real.
For real.
A blazer or a suit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny, man. I had a good time at that show, but it was definitely, there weren't a lot of lead gen guys there, and I think what it is one of those things where you can't fake it, right?
Right.
These lawyers are sharp, and maybe that intimidates a lot of people, but I think it's fucking good. It creates kind of like a barrier to entry.
Yeah, but lawyers are not marketers.
That's true.
Let them be lawyers. They're not even business people. Like, they're really bad. Like, my experience, like, they're bad with technology. Like, if you can have a package that, you have a CRM for, like, you have a whole case management system for them.
Yeah.
Their whole workflow, basically. Then they really like you.
Yeah.
They want to do what they're good at. They
Yeah.
like us do what we're good at.
The one thing though, you got to really be on your shit, because they all talk to each other, right? So if you burn one, you're done. I heard about a guy at that show, what stupid numbers are, like 10, maybe 60 million a year. And I don't know what the hell they did. I don't remember the story. Did something wrong by one guy, boom, out of the industry. Hasn't made a dime in the industry in like 5 years. Wow. But imagine that, 50, 60 million a year of revenue every year, a year in and year out, and then bam, one fuck up and bam, you're out. Right? It's crazy.
Yeah, that's not significant, but their licenses are at stake, and they probably lost, if there's fraud, they don't get any of that money back. Right? Like, it's you got to be careful.
Let's talk about that though, because I'm seeing and I'm hearing this happens a lot. So we do some tour. We don't do a huge amount of. We have some campaigns we're doing that are working pretty decent for us. But what I'm hearing is that there's a lot of coach calls, right? All this shit.
Not only that, there's just a lot of consumer fraud. Just think about the consumer.
They're trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah. I mean, like, they'll alter documents, and like at that point, like, there's nothing that we did wrong. Nobody did anything wrong. They responded to the ad, and they knew what they needed to say to.
Yeah.
But eventually, it catches up with them. Like, though, people send them fake medical records. Like, these aren't your medical records.
That's so crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they think they're gonna get away with it, right? I mean, these guys they got forensics, they got all sorts of stuff. They're not messing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys, they didn't even think it like that angle.
Yeah.
And they got burned. The other guys got burned.
So NBA, let's talk about that, right? I know this is accurate. I remember because we did an NBA campaign a while ago where we were calling on leads, NBA leads, and we turned to transfers. We had a pretty good run like years ago with my call center. I remember back then hearing that every day 17,000 people get into car accidents in America.
I heard it was 33,000.
You heard 33,000? Wow.
That's what I heard today.
It could be right, especially in Florida. Man, these people drive like shit, man. Okay, I don't know. Especially come from Jersey and New York, man. God, I lose my mind over here, man. Fucking, they don't use their turn signals, man. Everyone's on the freaking phone right now. So you're right. It probably doubled since I started doing this. Fucking bad. But anyway, with that being said, it's a good vertical, but it's also hard to crack because it's not like ACA or freaking final expense. We got guys showing us their chest over here. We got some Diddy shit going on. Chance. You got this guy with Diddy shit. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you, Phil. We got some haters trying to hate us. I love you, man. Anyway, that's your old partner too, right? That's fine.
Yeah, Phil is a great.
No Diddy shit, right?
I've never done it without Phil. Thank you, Phil.
Did you get that on camera? Or he disappeared? He got nervous. Anyway, what the fuck were we talking about? Oh, we're talking about the accidents. So the bottom line is that the payouts are good, right? But it's like it's a needle in a haystack. There's not that
one soft. There's a lot of qualifiers,
Yeah.
If it's been, over 6 months, they don't want those deals. They don't want soft tissue. They'll take some soft tissue if it's, there's a lot of like variables that they have to look at. Like this case is worth it, or there's nothing here.
Yeah. But the benefit is that it's like, I know Mass Tour, you got some high payouts. I've heard of payouts. We had a campaign in our calls, I think it was like 47, 55,000 for a retained case. But for NBA, it depends. It goes by state level. Like California, pay higher, right?
Right.
Yeah.
In Florida, I can pay out $2,500.
Oh, wow.
Which is above average. So it's an attractive offer.
I had no idea.
I need some traffic to it.
Jeez. All right, guys, you're listening. NBA, send them your traffic. $2,500 in Florida. That's pretty insane. How much is in California?
I don't have a California.
Really?
I've heard I think like 5-6 years.
Really? Damn,
It's hard with the-
things have changed because when I did it, I could have swore it was like 800 to like 1800. Maybe I was getting a shitty payout. I don't remember, but that was years ago, man. I think that was right around COVID time. So the dynamics may have changed. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what works, man? What kind? Someone's running traffic to you. Like what makes a good partner for you in terms of for NVA, for torts, or anything that you're running? What do you look for a good partner?
If it's a transfer, somebody that is just consistent, that communicates and is sending over when the lead comes over. Make sure you ask the qualifying questions. They're there for a reason. Don't waste people's time. And if it meets up with the criteria, the lawyers they close on average 50 to 60% of what comes.
Wow.
As long as it meets the qualifiers, they're closing.
Yeah.
So even if it's not, it shouldn't be a ton of money.
Yeah.
It's MBA, it's hard, it's a hard lead. But if you can get solid calls through, we'll expand to more states too. So yeah.
Are you seeing a rise in fraudulent leads? And how do you combat it?
In MBA, not MBA hasn't been bad. In tort, we've seen a rise in rideshare. There's a lot of consumer fraud doing. They need to send in the receipts.
Yeah.
And they Photoshop the receipts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think a lot of fraud has kind of went away when a lot of people don't do transfers anymore. There's tons of fraud in transfers. But yeah, no, that's really no TCPA complaints in over a year and a half.
Nice.
Since
Knock on wood.
cutbacks. Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. So listen, now that you exited, right? I mean, I know we talked a while. I was in Colombia a couple months ago. We had a conversation, man. You're looking for like investment opportunities, that kind of stuff, man. Like, what do you think? What do you, and you've also caught waves before, right? So I guess it all ties together. I mean, lead gen's all about the waves, catching these waves, man. What do you think's the next? What's percolating right now? What could be the next wave? And what kind of opportunities are you scoping out?
Yeah, no, I like the telehealth platform idea.
I hear a lot about
I
telehealth.
hear
Yeah.
a lot about that, and I like to be able to sell, different products. I think peptides are a huge
Yeah.
up and coming thing, but there's just FDA issues with taking cash or credit card payments, which I'm sure there's solutions out there for being creative. But that's something I'm looking into. I'm very interested in home services. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I'm starting to look at some appliance repair.
Yeah, I heard good things about that. It's pretty hot.
And that kind of transition, that kind of leads you in so many different directions.
Yeah.
A lot of those calls turn into like an HVAC call, or, and there's a lot of hedge fund money in there too. So you follow the money.
That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Cool. Listen, so what's the future hold, man? I mean,
The future holds, it's going to be a good 2025.
Yeah,
And
I
I
feel the
think
same way.
it's going to be a good year.
I feel like there's euphoria going around. 2024, I don't know how for you, but a lot of guys who was like fucking, some guy got wiped out of business. Some guys just came from almost came back from the death, right? Like, we had a wild year, ended strong, thankfully, but I feel like there is a euphoria going on in 2025. Yeah.
Some good energy.
Definitely good energy. Good shit, man. So last words, anyone trying to get in the industry, man, they're brand new industry. What's your advice to them?
Just keep pushing forward, just always be persistent. Just, you're going to get tons of no's, but just keep on moving forward. And you're eventually, it's a numbers game. Somebody's going to talk to you. Somebody's going to work with you. And
You know what? It's so, I love saying this as a numbers game because it's so fucking true. You can have a bad day or bad month, but it's just going to turn. As long as you keep doing,
the pipeline starts building.
Yeah.
And once that pipeline's built, you can kind of sit comfortably.
you reminded me, there's a book, always be prospecting, right? There's always be closing, but always be, and it's true. If you're not, no matter how well you're doing, if you're not prospecting, your team's not, you're going to get fucked because that pipeline's and no campaign lasts forever. There's always, and it's like life, there's death, right, to a campaign. So if you're not prospecting, your team's not prospecting, you're fucking yourself. So you could be riding high and high. Like, look at solar. Solar was hot as fuck.
Right.
Got dry, man. So good thing that we pivoted into the other stuff, but you got to always be prospecting because you just never know. Adapt and pivot is really where it comes down to. Well, good shit. I'm glad we finally got to do this. Good shit.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. AXAD Capital. Hit up my man, John. We're going to put in your information here. People want to hit you up. Good guys, willing to give advice, willing to fucking make it happen, man. Let's fucking go. Good shit, man. Good shit. Then we got to do it.
Get ready to level your shit up with the LFG show. We travel the globe to bring you heavy hitters from all walks of life. We've been talking some serious business, from the best digital marketers, government contracting experts, to top athletic and celebrity doctors. We've got it all covered. We're talking to guys who've cashed in for billions with a B. And the best thing is, we're just getting started. So hold on tight. We're about to crank it up a notch. Get ready for next level networking and masterminds within the LFG community. Scared money don't make no money or honey. Hit the subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, and let's fucking go.